Hello everyone. Um, this video is all about my journey with watercolor art, and it's a way to express myself and bring my story to you. How how my life is getting fulfilled. I personally feel very fulfilled whenever I make art, and and that adds a value each of my day uh, that fills with a lot of excitement and a lot of energy, creative fulfillment and all the time because I'm completely involved into it. I feel I always feel something some energy is going around me, um, which is remarkable experience, by the way. um, Whenever I create any art, you know whether in my studio or I go outdoor, I feel a sense of a joyful moment all the time within me. It comes within, and I feel and I feel some energy which gives me a lot more positive vibe all the time whenever I create or I'm in the process of art. Right, so this is my life I'm going through, and the most exciting part is I'm offering a free watercolor lesson to my audience. So you can just visit my website and you can request a free lesson if you are a beginner or you're intermediate. So this watercolor lesson will help you how to make a good art. So please go ahead and just see what value it can bring to you. I'm sure you're going to love this. People say, uh, "Hey Nitin, why the watercolor? Why watercolor fascinates you all the time?" And of course, I mean that question is absolutely makes sense because people want to know what really uh, what really make me why this particular medium uh, bring lots of joy to me, and why this particular medium I have chosen for my creative fulfillment. And my answer is always uh, you know the one, and that is this water. Look at the water, how agile it is, the purity of water, right? The purity of water, since this watercolor is more about 90-95%, I would say it's water. So the agility of this medium makes me a lot of excitements. It gives me a lot of excitement basically, uh, because I personally feel this particular medium judges you all the time and makes you angry, makes you frustrated. Uh, you get, you really, I mean, a lot of people basically get irritated basically with this medium very quickly. Even an expert, the people who has been working on this medium for long, and if he or she you know don't paint for a long time, uh, for them also it's very difficult to manage it after a certain time. You can't just uh, you know be a random artist. If you really wanted to get the real pleasure of watercolor, you need to get involved. You need to be consistently make art, and just keep doing something which brings a lot of values basically. you know with each of your art you feel grow, you feel things are really exciting you, right? So That's the reason I had chosen this particular medium, because of this agility. You can't just you know go away for a long time and come back and say, hey, I want to make a masterpiece. it, it simply doesn't work in that way. um, you need to fall, and you need to keep falling fall in love with this medium, and every single day you have to come and say, hey, hello, watercolor, I'm here, I really love you. and and the moment you say, I love you, my my watercolor, you say hi to your paper and brush, and you'll get a reply from them. By the way, you when you paint, you'll feel that these colors are talking to your brush. The movement of your, you know the hand, the fingers, and your even conscious mind or subconscious mind, and everything is in action basically. uh, that's the reason I love this medium. There's a I I I I don't say that the other medium. I'm not blaming any other medium. All are absolutely best way to express yourself, and you can just feel the the fulfillment of your creative desirability, or your desire to paint, your desire to create something which exists, which something doesn't exist, and all of that. That's the beauty of the form of art, or creating an art. But yeah, this particular medium is something which which I really which I really like. One of the interesting thing happen when you paint, and I'm sure most of you, whether you are an expert, uh, the artist, or you've just started exploring watercolor, you're a beginner, you're just learning. That's a good way. Uh, but have you ever felt that when you paint, there is a lot of talk, the pep talk is going in your mind, your subconscious mind. You just keep talking to yourself. Okay, what is going to happen? And you are basically in your in that state that you're talking to yourself, and you start a conversation with your color, with your artwork, and you say, okay, if I do this certain thing, if I apply the certain color here, what will happen? And a lot of people, especially beginners, and even the sometimes the expert, the artists, they themselves is also, get scared to do something ridiculously and some experimental work. uh, those things are, very exciting, and you keep talking to yourself, that if I do certain things, what will happen? Whether this entire painting is going to spoil. If I apply this color, will that be composition will look good, and everything, all of that. So that conversation is very meaningful. That's conversation. You must do this conversation to yourself. You you need to talk to your art while you're creating. I do that. I I make a lot of conversation when I'm painting, and I just sometimes a lot of question arise in my mind and say that, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put a very bold patch. What happens if that goes wrong? and uh, and I get an answer, some positive answer, some negative answer, but actually that is very significant moment, for any artist or anyone who's practicing watercolor or any other medium, any form of art. That is a super power, natural phenomenal, I would say, that you are doing. Um, because nothing comes as a real. I mean, sometimes something is real, something is doesn't exist. Like particularly in this painting, if you'll see this, something is not visible, something is not there, but my subconscious mind has taken a very conscious decision that I have to do this. I have to do something which doesn't exist. Like take an example of car. Car doesn't behave like this in a real time, but it's your creative power, your creative desire to make things in a way you wanted to make, right? That sense and that the freedom of expression is is really phenomenal, I would say, in any form of art. So have these thoughts keep running in your mind, have these thoughts keep coming, and see how how things are getting involved. The pleasure of art is something when you complete your art. The moment you complete your art and you feel like you have absolutely connected to your soul, and you ask yourself, your soul, and just keep your hand in your heart and say what you did, whether it's a good art or anything which came out, you just say yourself. I always feel like sometimes my painting goes really horrible wrong, but it gives me so much of excitement because I see there's a lot of shape, there's a lot of color, there's a lot of talks, there's a lot of discover of myself, and I just keep exploring, keep looking at those paintings. I can't just stop myself looking at those paintings. But it's most like I always feel that I did something, and that's the a wonderful experience you will have, and you can just stop yourselves to create a new art. You start thinking, okay, I have done this. Let's do this and next artwork, which is more significant, more pleasurable, and more fulfilling. Right? You start doing that. I, I do that because the moment I just complete my artwork, I just don't look at the problem. Things are not real, things are not good, what colors are, shapes are not good. I just completely ignore that, and I start getting a pleasure whatever I did. And most important part is I just spend a lot of time looking at my artwork. I get every shape, every color. I'm getting pleasure from that, and that's the ultimate joy I'm getting. Honestly speaking, that fulfillment you will never get even you'll have a 1 million of $1 million with you. uh, that's a different thing, but you create something, and you bring that the sense of fulfillment always when you see your artwork. And not only that, I it's so exciting. The excitement goes in a way that I just try to do something a little more what I have just forgot in that artwork. Just randomly I sketch something, just spending some time that what if I would have done the certain thing in that painting, how will that would be. So the curiosities also brings a kind of the more pleasure to your eyes, your inner, your internal, the the internal values which creates a lot of creativity within yourself. So that is something I do a lot. I just start preparing for my next one. How would I how would I go ahead for my better artwork, more better artwork, for my next creation. And that is something like it's always fills me with a joy, and that joy never ends. uh, and it should be, right? Your joy should not end, and whatever the artwork you got, the primary, the focus you should have is you should be in a joyful, uh, because the joyfulness comes only uh, when when you feel joy whatever you have created. The joyful painting you will create only when you feel joy, when you act like a joy, right? So thank you so much, everyone. That's my journey, and I'm going ahead with my next artwork, which I'll share soon. Please subscribe my channel if you have not subscribed it, and please click on the ring bell so you'll get a notification when I video. Thank you so much.